Happy Halloween! Welcome to the Spitball Media Podcast, our Halloween celebration. It's here. It's finally here. My name is John Draper. Shah, happy Halloween 2024. I feel like it's Christmas or something.
It's our Christmas, I would say. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I spent fucking $60 on candy today, dude, and I feel like I got nothing.
Probably not much.
No, it really wasn't. It's like nothing.
Probably
60
not
bucks in candy.
Not much. Where did you buy it from? Like a bodega, or where'd you buy it from?
No, Target, man.
Oh wow,
Each bag
okay. So
is-
you went
yeah.
to like the Target to get it. You
Yeah,
got
each
candy?
bag was like $17 or like fucking
Yes.
20. It's like crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I know I'm
And there's
gonna run
nothing in
out.
the bags. I feel like there's just nothing in
They
them.
put less and less in the bags.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? It's kind of like potato chips. And of course, speaking of potato chips, a very svelte for Halloween, Mr. B-Show Brian. B-Show Brian, when's the last time you had a potato chip? You look so svelte.
Actually, this afternoon after lunch, I had
Excellent.
a
Well, you earned
craving.
it. You deserve
Yeah.
it. Clap, clap, clap.
I was I haven't dressed up as Michael Myers the past couple of years because my jumpsuit's too tight. And
Oh.
then this year I found a second one I'd bought when I got bigger that I'd had the whole time. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So it's all good.
Multiple jumpsuits. What are you working on the car after in the off season?
Yeah. No, it's like Weird Al. Like sometimes I'm thin, sometimes I'm fat. You know, I gotta have costumes.
So
for all
like
it.
life. So just like regular life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm wearing so many layers. It's like 80 degrees. But if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for checking us out. But please consider going to patreon.com/Spitball Media. Shah, you can't get a bag of candy for $5, but tell them what they can get for $5 all year round.
Like I said, you can get maybe 10 fun-sized Snicker bars that, that are like, I don't know, a quarter-inch fucking long nowadays. Yeah, you can't get shit for $5, except for our Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Spitball Media.
And B-Show, it will not give them a toothache either. And we don't have to worry about us putting fentanyl in our shit because, we're just not that type.
No, we're not. We don't give away drugs for free. You got to pay for the good shit.
You got to pay for the drugs.
But speaking of cost, our Patreon has not gone up since we started this, and we're not going to increase it anytime soon. Unfortunately, I logged into StreamYard. So if you are a streamer and you have StreamYard, check your bill and your checking account because ours went from like $20 to $40 overnight.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that to you. We're not going to increase from like $5 to $50 because we're here for you guys. We appreciate the support that you've given us, most of you since day one. I went back through the membership list the other night, and I have to say like 70 to 80% are still people that have been with us since like the first 2 months.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Shah, like we never would talk about that, but our retention rate for Patreon is very impressive.
Yeah, we don't have a gigantic podcast, but for the amount that we have a very, very loyal
retention
in the community. So
it's crazy. Yeah, it's like we have a small. I always describe it as a small but loyal bunch. I think that's a good thing. And I'm a WAP, so I go with loyalty, Shah, above anything. You always, like what Joey Diaz says, you only need like 3 or 4 guys. That's it. You just need 3 or 4 guys.
Well, it's funny because I'm subscribed to a bunch of different YouTube channels. So I'll go on some of their Patreons, and some of these people have like 12, 20,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah.
We have like, I don't know, how many do we have? Like 250 subscribers, So they're gigantic compared to us. But when you go to their Patreon, they have just as many patrons as we do.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, like I've noticed we never bring it up though, guys, but I've noticed that myself too. B-Show, have you noticed that? Because I've noticed people with legions of like YouTube and then like, oh, I wonder what their Patreon looks like. And I'm like, that's kind of just what we have.
It kind of makes me feel better because I'll look at YouTube channels and it's like they have 20,000 subscribers, 200,000 views on a video or 30,000, whatever it is. And I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? But then I look at their Patreon and it's like, thanks to the 15 people that donated this month. And it's like, I guess we're doing something right. So thank you guys.
There was something with Twitch, like this person got in trouble on Twitch and it was like a big scuttlebutt. And then somebody goes, dude, they don't have more than ever 6 or 7 people when they're live. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, 7 people? Like there was some other dude who's some jerk off wrestling fucking Herb talking shit. And then somebody said, dude, don't you have like 6 subscribers like live? Like, I don't know. I don't really, if it's something I do 2 hours a week. I don't really think, I mean, I spend more time wiping my ass than I do podcast, like literally wiping my asshole. I spend more time. So I don't really care, but I'm having a good time just like wiping my ass, I'm enjoying myself. But go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. $5. You get well over 1,000 hours of exclusive content. Next month, we are bringing back the Q&A. But for Halloween, this is a special episode. B-Show, who's chilling with us tonight for All Hallows Eve? Actually, tonight's Devil's Night, right? That's what they call it.
It is. So we have DM Skunk. We got
What's up,
Slave
Skunk?
Cheeks.
It's the Cheekster.
Marquise.
John
JLD 999.
I like that.
Hey now, Rich Dow.
It's that.
We've got, I got to go up because there's some others. Joe Punches is with us.
The Puncher.
Fatty from the Bayou Geeks.
The Bayou Geeks Fatty 3016.
Kevco TV is with us.
What's up, Mr. Co?
And if I missed anyone because I skipped too fast, let us know you're here.
Well, it is a Wednesday. We normally don't do this on a Wednesday, but I feel like, Shah, every time we do it on a Wednesday, it always works out really well.
Yeah, I'm so used to Thursdays. It feels off, but just because it's Halloween, it makes sense. But usually sometimes, you know, due to scheduling conflicts and stuff like that, we have to do it on a Wednesday or a different day. And it feels very off. But for some reason, today just feels right because it is Hallows Eve. So it's like, you know, it makes sense.
And of course, tomorrow night, obviously, there'll be no show because it is the holiday. We'll all be dealing with the holiday. And we thought tonight would just be a fun way. We're going to ask everyone in the chat to share their Halloween must-watch films. You know, which is great. I want drop them in there right off the way. Everybody in the chat, I want you to drop in the must-watch Halloween films. We'll discuss our must-watch Halloween films. Anything we've caught up recently for Halloween that we tried to catch up with. But B-Show, I got to throw this out there. I can't believe that you have not seen Terrifier 3 yet. Like, you're a super fan. Motherfucker, Art the Clown is ringing the bell, the closing bell at the NASDAQ, for Christ's sakes.
I saw that. What's his name? Who posted that today?
Who posted it? But Damien posted it.
Damien did, but I know someone else shared it. Red River. Sam? Sorry, I couldn't think of Sam's name for some reason. But yeah, man. I mean, that is huge. They've grossed $50 million now. And I jokingly, when we talked about it a couple weeks ago,
said it's a $2.5 million movie. But
I know. I thought 30, they could gross 50, and it was a pie in the sky number. They fucking did it. But I was gonna go tomorrow. I actually took tomorrow off.
Oh wow! Oh my god!
And then my son has like a holiday parade at school, so I'm gonna go and see him instead.
All right. Well, you got to check it out. Shah, 50 million and climbing. What do you think?
I think it's the highest grossing unrated movie of all time now, too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Highest grossing unrated horror film ever in the history of cinema. But Shah, none of us had 50 mil plus. None of us thought that. Nobody thought that.
I mean, honestly, the next one I'm expecting like 75 to 100 probably. Yeah, I mean, Insidious did 100 last year.
Yeah, on a $30 million budget with 5 previous films.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I think the following and yeah, I think honestly, I think Terrifier has just as large of a following as Insidious nowadays.
Maybe online. Maybe online. I don't know. Terrifier's got a lot of haters, Shah. A lot of people are very public in the horror community. Like, it's growing, like the anti-Terrifier movement from people. Like Insidious, people either saw it or they didn't. There's not like a hatred towards it, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think it's because Terrifier got so big. Insidious never got so big out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It was just like a generic house. Yeah, like it's kind of what you expected. It was a Blumhouse generic horror film that was set to do well, and it did. But this kind of came out of nowhere, and nobody had really a grindhouse type of movie for a long time. Like, I can't tell you the last time we got a grindhouse movie. Do you remember? When's like
not like this? No, I don't. Not this century. I don't.
I don't even mean as violent. Just even that feel of it actually being like a grindhouse fucking film from like the 70s type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I even like intentional or unintentional, right? So it's just like, you know, it just hits on so many levels. B-Show, I cannot wait for you to talk about this. I feel like this is gonna put your brain in the orbit of like, Jesus fucking Christ, like what the fuck?
I know. I'm pissed that I haven't been able to see it. I've caught up on everything, I think, except for The Substance and that, and maybe the Alien movie. But man, it's really eating at me that I still haven't seen Terrifier. I don't know. We got some ideas, some good Halloween movies in the chat if we want to wrap.
Yeah, we do. Before we get to that, I just want to throw out next month for the Patreon people, we will be going back to the regular format in terms of the Q&A. We'll get a link out probably over the weekend at some point. So this is another great time, just another reason to join, because the holidays Q&A, the shows get very holiday themes. You know, they're usually very well attended. People have a lot of fun. But yeah, B-Show, let's talk about our friends in the chat, what they got. I know a lot of people are dropping their movies left and right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go from the top. So DM Skunk says he's watching Smile 2 tomorrow.
Okay, and Shah, you said you might go check that out at some point, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about seeing that on Saturday night.
Oh, excellent.
Hopefully, I can make it in time. She gets out of work late, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to make a movie, but that's the goal. But I don't really know what movie yet, but I don't want to take her to Terrifier.
Yeah,
so
don't repeat that mistake.
I think the only option is probably Smile 2, unless something else is out. Is there anything else out right
Not
now?
this weekend. The Heretic is next weekend, I believe.
Are you sure? Positive. It might be this.
Oh,
weekend.
Heretic is this weekend? Oh,
no, I thought Heretic was November 8th.
November 8th. Yes, the Heretic is next weekend.
Fuck, because I really want to see that.
Yeah, everyone, there's a low, we might get to it later, but there's low key people saying horror film of the year, like knockout, like it's over, like the it's over there. But yeah, so hopefully you'll get to do that. And of course, B, I'm sorry, where were we with the Smile 2? B, sure, you like Smile, but you might not see Smile 2 on theaters, right?
Probably, I might not get to it. I'm hearing good stuff, but okay. I'd rather go see Terrifier than that. So
yeah, I would recommend seeing them both. But DM Skunk's seen Smile 2. That's a great movie to see tomorrow night. I'm sure Terrifier is going to be loaded. Yeah. Who's next in there?
John JLD says Get Out, but he says he's very basic when it comes to horror. I mean, you like
that's not like. That's a high-end horror film, man. That's a high art film. To Get Out. That's so basic. Basic is like Get Out is like an epic film at this point. Kicked off Jordan Peele's sort of horror, greatness there. But
good. Did you say that's his best one?
I really like. I watched Nope again recently.
Yeah, it's between Nope and Get Out for me, man. I didn't really like Us.
I like Us is so creepy and weird. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Oh, it's weird. It's very.
I don't do it or anything.
Us is like a French film to me, Shah. Us feels like one of those French new wave films. Yeah, but a good pick there from Mr. John JLD. What else we got there, B?
Rich Dow says he saw Terrifier 3. He has to catch up on 1 and 2 tomorrow.
Interesting. I know multiple people, Rich Dow, who have not seen the previous films that immediately went to Terrifier 3. Just said, fuck it, I'm seeing the third one. Wow. Isn't that weird, guys? Like, I don't think I could do that, but I know people have done it. Like, honestly, a lot of people are like, I never saw 1 and 2. It was so hyped up. Everyone said it's cool. I don't need to see it to see this one. And I'm like, wow, to go backwards, Shah? Like, that's got to be a trip.
I think if you can pull it off with any trilogy, it probably is Terrifier. Because there's not much depth to it. Not much is developing in 2 or 1, especially 1. You can, I mean, I guess you kind of need to see 2 to know some of the characters, but
yeah,
it's, it's okay to see the third one without going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I did change my mind, though. I said the third one was my favorite last week. It's changed back to the second one. I rewatched the second one.
Yeah.
I think the second one is probably my favorite.
Fucking insane. Like, I immediately said that. I said 2 is still my favorite B-Show, but 3 is, it's not a knock on 3, but 2 was just like a gut punch.
Okay. God, I gotta see that fucking movie.
I know. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's so topical. We can't.
Dirty,
I know.
It's so topical. Like, art is literally became Freddy Krueger like in 3 years. Like, it's fucking bananas, dude. It's like no one had this coming. No one saw any of this coming from a media standpoint, from a creative standpoint, box office standpoint, review standpoint, fandom standpoint. You know how many people are going to be dressed as Art the fucking Clown tomorrow? You have any idea?
There's an animatronic at Spirit Halloween, for Christ's sake.
Of course there is. It's white hot. He's ringing the bell, the closing bell Friday. What the fuck? Who greenlit that? Who the fuck greenlit that? And said, we got to get Art the Clown to close the bell Friday for the close the day after Halloween.
Well, it's also got the backing of pretty much every horror outlet and brand also. I mean, from Fangoria to Bloody Disgusting to fucking Cavity Colors and all these other, brands that are putting out art stuff.
Yeah.
Shudder, I'm sure,
Shudder.
It's, it's definitely getting a lot of push from different avenues, but it's well deserved, man. I mean, honestly, I like the second one more now because it just felt grimier and
Oh,
dirtier.
it's so
Because the
dirty.
third one, once you add Christmas into it, regardless of how violent it is, there is really that kind of like jolly, like comedic
Yeah.
vibe to it, you know,
Yeah,
which
it's more
takes
fun.
away from what the second one was.
Second
was
one
just
is not
fucking-
fun, dude. Second one is
Yeah, second one is just like, what the fuck, man?
It's a fucking nightmare.
I wonder if that was an artistic choice too, to kind of lessen some of the blow of the violence.
Well,
going
because of
into 3.
Christmas, like he said, like other than Black Christmas, guys, what's a disturbing Christmas movie other than Black Christmas? None of them. They're not
Even Christmas Evil isn't. I mean, it's weird, but it's not
it's weird.
disturbing.
No, it's not like very disturbing.
No.
Bisho, who else? So we got that for the Dow. He's going to go backwards, which I would love for him to share with us his journey on that. What else we got there in the chat? I know there's a lot.
Fatty from the Bayou Geek says Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a good one.
That's a good one, and it's good seasonal. Everybody loves that, I'm sure. What else we got?
DM Skunk says Creep Show. Another good pick.
Shah. When was the last time you saw Creep Show?
Earlier this year, actually. It just came out on
first
4K.
one?
Yeah, it came out on 4K, so I rewatched it.
That's awesome.
Dude, you got to see it in 4K, man. It looks so fucking good.
I saw it.
All the colors and shit. Oh, dude, it looks different, though. You got to see it in 4K, man.
Creep Show, guys, Creep Show is the first R-rated movie I saw without my parents. I snuck in. I bought a ticket for a PG movie, and then we went into Creep Show. Me and my friend were in 8th grade, and we didn't get caught because I was tall. But Bisho, you're a Creep Show guy?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I love Fluffy in the Crate. That story's awesome.
Oh, so good.
Adrian Barbeau plays such a fucking cunt. And when he has the dream sequence where Hal, whatever his name is,
Hal Holbrook,
yeah, when he blows her away and everyone claps at the dinner party, so fucking great.
Oh yeah, you didn't know it was a dream at first.
No,
it's Creep Show.
I was like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden she's like, Harry. He's like, oh, okay.
Is the second one good, guys? I don't remember. Is it good?
It's okay.
Second one is good, yeah. I hate the third one. Third one is awful, but the second one is good.
Can you guys tell me what some of the stories are in the second one?
Chief Woodenhead.
Second one's good.
Yeah.
And
the villain in that story is actually the guy who played Fritz von Erich in Iron Claw.
Yes, that guy's been around a long time. Colm something. His name is Colm. He has a weird name. I like that guy.
And the other one that's notable is the raft, where they're stuck on the raft and that blob is in the water trying to get him. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Dude's good. Dude's good. Okay, what else we got? B on the chat.
Kevco TV says his edible should be hitting just after the podcast, and he's gonna go watch Terrifier 3.
Dude, I don't know if I recommend that, but
just to balance it out, I'm gonna recommend that. I think you should.
Really? Edibles and Terrifier? Wow. Okay. Dude, Edibles and Terrifier 2 would have been, I probably would still be in therapy if I did that. but Kevco, be careful, man. All right, what else we got?
Joe Punches has a list. So Halloween, obviously. Beetlejuice, yeah, that's fun. Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh my God, he said his daughter has seen all of these too and loves them. Good man.
Yeah, I like all of those picks for sure. I actually was thinking about throwing on OG Chainsaw tomorrow night. Like that was my pick because I know it's going to be busy, especially with the weather being so nice. And my living room is right in the front of my house, so I'm got to be like, so I'm thinking of doing that. But yeah, the punches, man. He's always coming up with the hits.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. I think that was the extent of what's in there now.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they're talking about the raft. Everyone's opining on Creep Show too. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that would have been a fun watch along. Did who directed that Creep Show too? I'm trying to remember like when it came out. I remember Chief Woodenhead was a big deal.
Let me see.
I don't think Romero did Romero do anything?
I think he did one of them. He did a story and
yeah, he did the first one for sure. I just don't.
He didn't do the full movie. Didn't he do a story in it? Wasn't it different directors?
Yeah, the original Creep Show. It was like Stephen King, George Romero.
Jesus.
Maybe Toby Hooper. Let me see who did Creep Show.
Yeah, it was George Romero.
I think Toby Hooper did Twilight Zone movie. I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Romero did the whole thing, dude.
Romero did the whole Creep Show? Wow.
Romero did the screenplay for Creep Show 2. It was directed by Michael Gornick.
Who directed one?
Really?
I'll find out because I thought different people directed all the.
That's what I thought, but I mean, it's a long.
I thought Romero did the whole first one. That's what I thought.
It's cool that he wrote it. That's pretty badass. I mean, Romero is fucking.
Because Romero, he did direct all of them on the first one. I was wrong.
Oh wow, okay.
Stephen King wrote them. There we go.
Stephen King wrote the stories. Romero directed them, and then the second one, Romero wrote them, but somebody else, but he didn't direct. Yes. Interesting. Okay.
And George Romero was a huge fan of EC Comics, so he was really into this, and it shows.
EC Comics are great. Why did the third one suck so bad? Does anybody remember?
Oh, it's just awful. There's literally there's nothing good about it.
Really?
It
Oh,
looks
that sucks.
gross. There's nobody famous in it. I don't even know who
Why did they
directed
do
it.
it?
There's no redeeming value in the third one at all.
That's
Directed
interesting.
by Anna Clavel and James Doodleson.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't even like
James
their name.
Doodleson?
Yeah, I
Oh,
hate
wow.
your name, bro. There's no way you're good.
Joey Pee Pants and Anna Vaginitis. Good Lord. Yeah, the Bio Geeks brought up the Twilight Zone movie. I love the Twilight Zone movie. That movie is great. I've seen it 100 times. I saw it multiple times in theaters when it came out. I love the opening segment with Albert Brooks and Dan Aykroyd. You want to see something really scary? Bisha, are you a fan? I love the OG Twilight Zone.
I've never seen the OG Twilight Zone.
You've never seen the Twilight Zone movie?
Mm-mm.
I
Oh,
haven't either.
are you fucking kidding me? It's masterful, man. You guys got to try to check that out if it's
I've never seen
available
it.
somewhere. Oh, it's so good. It's and somebody really died in the making of it. It was a famous scene.
Yeah.
In a with a with John Landis, I think got sued.
Yes, and it kind of
Yeah.
ended his career, and he
You could see the
really
footage
weird.
of the kid and the actor getting decapitated in
Ugh.
the Vietnam flashback.
And apparently he showed up at the guy's funeral, Landis, and
Mhm.
like made this huge scene. Some people say he might have been drunk.
Vic Morrow, yeah, the
There you
actor.
go.
Yeah, Vic Morrow. He played the racist. Guys,
Yeah.
I'm under. Pull it up now, because I just want to see what the rating is for this.
Yeah.
Guys, you would be like, yo, this was fucking great. It's so good. And it's reimagining of the original black and white ones. Shah, were you a fan of the Twilight Zone TV show?
To be honest, I've never even seen an episode
Oh,
of
you'd
that.
love it. It's
I've never seen any of
fantastic.
it.
Oh,
Nope.
they're fantastic.
Never seen it.
Oh yeah, John JLD is like, I need to watch this, guys. It's even the pre-movie scene with Dan Aykroyd and Albert Brooks in a car, driving on a dark highway, trying to creep each other out. Now, this is not the film though. Twilight Zone, the movie.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
There we go.
Let's see there. Oh, it's very controversial.
Wow, that's
89
surprising.
look at that.
59 and 55.
59
that's
and
terrible.
55. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Wow. I love it. I think it's great.
People fucking hate this movie.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you, you got to watch it. It's so you can't go for this, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
You got to watch it. You need to check it out. But the TV show is a masterclass. Be sure you never watched my kids have seen all the Twilight Zone.
I've watched the TV show. Like when I was a kid, I would watch Nickelodeon at my grandma's house, and then Nick at Night would come on after. So I'd watch like Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I would watch Twilight Zone. I watched like
Outer Limits. Outer Limits is good too.
I used to watch the Outer Limits. What the Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Dark Side. Fatties bring it up, of course. Tales from the Dark. I used to
those I've seen. Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt. Those are the ones.
So fun. I love these half-hour anthology series shows because they just wrap everything the fuck up. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, you guys, if you can, watch the Twilight Zone movie and you'll be like, this is way better. What the fuck were they smoking? It's just very controversial because of the death. And I think a lot of people can't disassociate themselves from the death in the movie and and how that's my opinion. But I also haven't seen it in a long time, but I'm a big fan. But there's no bad movies really to watch on Halloween. But everybody really has their staples, like the things that they must watch, like no matter what, whether it's the thing they've seen 100 times or they watch all year round. So, Shah, I'm going to go to you first. Halloween, you got to watch movies on Halloween, regardless of whether or not you fucking, seen it 100 times. But what are some of your staples that you think for Halloween, or even the build up to the holiday itself that you've checked out or that you will check out?
To be honest with you, it switches every year based on what I bought. So what I did this year is I have my actual Halloween pile to watch list.
Oh God!
So I just brought what I watched this year, pretty much. So I got 9 titles.
So share with the class.
So this one just came in today, so I haven't even seen it yet. But I mean, I've seen the movie a million times. But Trick or Treat just came out on a 4K from Arrow Video.
Wow! Great cover.
This is what I'm watching tonight.
Excellent.
That's what I'm saying.
Excellent. Wow. That's fantastic.
Love this movie though. If I had to choose one movie that I would want to watch for Halloween, it's probably this.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's pick. Yeah. I know, Bisha, you're a big fan, right?
Yeah, I like it. Everything. I like the fact that it's like it's not like Creepshow where everything's separate stories that happen in their own universe. It's the same town.
They bleed into
events.
each other. Yeah, the same night. I love that. Yeah. And Shah, your favorite actor from Happiness, the pedophile, plays the killer in that. So
he does.
Yeah, it's great.
The principal or something like that.
Yeah, he is the principal. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what's next there?
So I got Evil Ed. Have you ever seen this?
No, but I'm very familiar with it. It's a UK movie. Everybody's been trying to get me to watch it for like a decade.
Watch this. It's gory. It's cheesy. The practical effects are amazing. It's got a lot to do with like censorship during the Grindhouse era. So this guy censors movies, and then all these horror movies essentially start to attack him. So there's a bunch of cool different monsters.
You mean the nasties? They called them the nasties.
Yeah, the video nasties.
Video nasties. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing on the back. Let me see if I can actually I can reverse the cover so you can see the original. This is the original poster.
Yeah, I remember the original. Yeah, because I didn't know what that was. Bisho, have you ever seen this? I've definitely heard of it for a long time.
No, I've never seen it, but that was one of the first cover arts that caught my attention at the local video store, because there's a different one that used to be on some of the VHSs where it's Ed, but there's like an axe splitting his head in half, I think.
I think that I've seen that too. Yeah.
And I remember walking by that and like, holy shit, what's that movie? So I've never seen it, but yeah, definitely a flashback.
What do you got there, Sean?
Got a House by the Cemetery from Lucio Fulci.
Fulci, yeah, I was gonna say my brother Mike's a big fan of that movie.
I'm not a big zombie guy, but I do like this movie a lot. So this is another Arrow video one.
Wow.
What was that?
Is that a two discs?
No, it comes with a book and poster and all this shit. It's like these limited edition ones, but I love the cover.
I love it. I love the cover. Wow, that looks fantastic. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I love Fulci, man. Got another one, City of the Living Dead. I don't know if you guys have seen this one.
I think that I've seen. I never seen the other one. Bisho, you a Fulci guy?
I haven't seen much Fulci that I can name, honestly.
What?
No.
Well, he's
Demonia,
got like
Zombie.
Oh, I've seen Zombie. I've seen From Beyond. Did he do New York Ripper?
He did.
No, that New York Ripper is
New York Ripper is no. That's absolutely Fulci.
That's Fulci. Okay, I was confusing it with Abel.
Manhattan Baby.
See, from what I've seen, I like Fulci.
Yeah. Fulci,
Don't Torture a Duckling. I'm pretty sure that's
Don't Torture a Duckling. I remember. I sold a lot of these in my store. Actually, I remember Mike made us order them. I forget who was the distributor then, but yeah, Giallo.
Of course, everybody's seen this, but the Candyman.
The OG. That's a gorgeous cover.
Yeah,
gorgeous cover. Wow.
Yeah, I love these like limited editions. I get all these from the UK. These aren't, but I import all these just because of the fucking covers.
Yeah, well, they're gorgeous.
This movie is hands down. This is one that I watch every Halloween, and this is one of my picks that didn't win. But Night of the Demon, I fucking
Night of the Demons, love it.
Yeah. It happens on Halloween too, so it's very fitting. This is very fun. If you haven't seen this movie and you like cheesy like 80s movies, and this has really good effects too. I mean, look at this thing.
Yeah, very good. Is that Brink Stevens, the star of that? It's the blonde girl who still does appearances. Like she's like in her 60s now. But who's that? That's Brink Stevens, right?
No, Amelia Kincaid.
Oh, who else is in it? Is another girl?
Oh, Leanna Quigley.
Leanna Quigley. Yeah, she's the blonde hair girl. But Brink Stevens was like a dark hair version of Leanna Quigley. She was in a lot.
Quigley was in everything, man.
She was in literally everything. Her tits have been seen so many times in the 80s. Shah, my God.
Oh, that dance in Return of the Living Dead.
Full nude in that. The OG Funhouse. Now they remade this in the last couple of years, didn't they?
Did they?
I believe they did.
I hope
not that long ago.
I don't think they did.
Oh, I think they did. I'm almost positive.
This is my second favorite Hooper movie, behind Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it was one of the video box standouts. Bisho, can you G-check me? I'm fairly certain the Funhouse has been remade. I'm almost positivo. What year is that shot? 85?
This is
84?
81.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that old. Jesus
Christ. Yeah, Bisho, was it remade?
There is a movie called Funhouse. It came out in 2019, but it sounds like a different premise. It says when 8 celebrities from around the globe are invited to compete in an online reality show, they soon realize they're playing with their lives.
Okay, yeah, no, then it's definitely different. All right, I got good picks here tonight.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Nice. Probably one of my favorite steel books too. I fucking love it.
Oh, look at that fucking cover.
Look at this back.
Dude, people want this to be a thing so bad. It's crazy. This and the Blob from the 80s, the late 80s remake.
Oh, dude, I was going to add the Blob on here too, because the Blob is one of my favorites too, man. The Blob is very underrated. The remake,
it's cult following, shot. The remake is
so fucking good.
Massive cult following. Bisho, you're a Killer Clowns guy?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I've still been waiting for them to make a second one, but I think that died a while
Yeah.
back.
Did they make a video game?
They
Yes.
did. Yeah, recently, actually.
Yeah. If it's anything like the Chainsaw, I'll pass. But
I would argue The Blob, The Fly, and The Thing are probably the 3 top best horror remakes of all time. Dawn of the Dead too. I would add that.
we may have to do a show on that.
We might. We should. I think
We
that would be a
should.
good idea.
We should. That's a fucking
Um,
magnificent idea. Dawn of the Dead, I think, is the best remake of all.
Then I got 2 more, and that's it. And then I got Thinner from Stephen
You
King.
love Thinner. That's like one of your
This
faves.
is my
man.
second favorite Stephen King film behind The
Jesus.
Shining.
Wow.
So underrated. Dude, oh, come on. This is so
No, I
underrated.
love Thinner. I remember I rented it immediately.
And
when
it's
it came
got
out.
Carrie, what's her name? Carrie Vourer, I think that's her name.
What's
Yeah,
her name?
I don't know how you say it. Carrie
Yeah.
Vourer.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I had the biggest crush on this woman. She is gorgeous.
It's a great premise. Bisho, you a Thinner fan?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Wow, a lot of hot picks there.
Yeah.
Well, Shah, I like all your picks. I think some of them are like very unique.
Yeah, I got one more actually.
What do you got?
Phantom of the Paradise. I know you've seen this, right?
I love Phantom. It's underrated as far as I'm concerned. It's
pretty much like Phantom of the Opera, but with like,
yeah,
rock stars essentially.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Love the mask is cool as shit too. Look at that fucking mask.
The mask and the teeth with the lip. Yeah. Oh, Bisho,
Yeah.
this movie is like an acid trip movie for sure. Like the music, everything about it's so psychedelic. Very big cult following. They made a documentary about that guy, Shah, the guy who wrote it, the short little British guy. And what the fuck's his name?
Did they really?
Andy Williams. What the fuck's his name? Is it Andy Williams?
Isn't Andy Williams a Christmas singer?
No, this is a Brit. He used to be on like who's in it? I forget his name. I saw a documentary about him.
William Finley?
No, keep going. There's a couple. Who wrote it or directed
Harper.
Who wrote or directed it? The music.
Garrett Graham.
Brian De Palma.
No, Brian De Palma, but who wrote the music? Like the person who wrote the music is like
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. You guys know who Paul Williams is. If you saw him, he has a very unique look. That's all I gotta say. It was a great documentary about Paul Williams, including that about how that was such a bomb because they wanted it to be the next Rocky Horror. And it just didn't work out. But Brian De Palma is such a strange guy. Bisho, I want to hear your picks. I want to see about what your must-haves that you have to watch or the build-up.
So mine are pretty basic. I talked about it a little bit on Patreon last night, but
Yes, you just dropped the episode today, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So
yeah, another reason to go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. I
did kind of a quick unofficial ranking of the Universal monsters, but like I keep my stuff old because I like obviously I do a Halloween marathon. So if I have time, I'll watch like the first 3 Halloween movies or at least the first 2 on Halloween night. I have to every single year. Aside from that, the other ones, Psycho. I love Psycho. There's just something about
Interesting Halloween movie.
And the music, just the atmosphere, it takes its time. It's just there's something timeless about that. And I know a lot of people think it's a little bit tame compared to today's standards, but I like that. I like more spooky, kind of older, atmospheric type of stuff around Halloween, just to set the mood. And then the classic Universal monsters. I just watched Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein today.
Oh, I like Bride of Frankenstein a lot.
Yeah. Which one do you like better, Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein?
Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I do. I like it. I don't know. I just think there's more action to it. It's not as chatty. Like I just feel like because you already know that Frankenstein's good, and then that one thing at the whole build up at the end to where she sees Frankenstein and is a total cunt. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like this big build up, and then she's just like she just like she fascives him. Like she finds him so deplorable that like it's just I love that. I remember as a kid, I was like, yo, she don't even like him. Like you know what I mean? Like I just love that. But of course, Frankenstein's Frankenstein, dude.
And I watched The Wolfman for the first time a few days ago, all the way through.
Oh, what did you think of the transformation? Wasn't that so cool though?
It's cool how they did it back in the day.
The stop action, the stop motion.
And
cutting edge.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I really liked some of the small elements. Like he walks into this shop, and the guy Lon Chaney who plays the Wolfman.
No, it's Lon Chaney Jr. If I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
His father was the silent film star.
That's right. But he reminded me of my late grandfather that I never met, just in an appearance. So it caught me off guard. And then to get the staff with the little wolf and the pentagram, like I want one like that now. I want to just carry a cane that has a wolf and a pentagram on it. But very cool. Very atmospheric. The scenes in the swamp are awesome. The set for the time is really cool.
Yeah.
And I like those old Gothic movies where they take place in like castles and these giant old mansions, and then they
Oh
find
yeah.
themselves like in the forest or the swamp, and it's foggy and
And it's
gross.
just fog. Yeah, it's so fake.
Yeah,
Like everything's so fake, but it's like they're in the woods, and it's like those are paper. That's paper. Like
yeah,
like and smoke machines.
yeah. And like the guy who plays Van Helsing in Dracula, is something about his performance, and he's also Volman in Frankenstein too.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeat people like
Yeah.
playing different roles in the
But
genre.
he's like, Willy, Herr Frankenstein, like the
Right.
voice, and like he plays such a smart dude. And I made the connection last night when I was doing the Patreon that, I've always said Dr. Loomis is like the Van Helsing to Michael Myers
Yeah.
Dracula, just in symbolism, right? But I didn't realize the connections where like Van Helsing's a learned guy. He's a doctor, a psychiatrist. He's a man of science, but he's the only one who believes there's actually a vampire out there, and he's trying to warn him.
Yeah.
So cool little twist there, and a lot of great performances from that time period. And
Oh
I
yeah,
did,
it's very heavy acting, like for
yeah.
that time period.
And I didn't realize that those movies were made in like the 30s. I was thinking it was like 40s and
No,
50s, but
no,
yeah, Frankenstein's like
they were
1931.
they were early talkie movies. Shah, did you know
Mhm.
that? Like some of the early talking pictures were horror films. But there wasn't even a genre really.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many of those, but to be honest, I really want to see The Mummy, the old school one.
It's good. The Mummy's good
Yeah,
too.
The
And The
Mummy I
Mummy
always thought looked
Returns.
great.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's the one I like the least out of all the old originals, is the
Okay.
Mummy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because there's not as much action, or it's slower or more methodical,
Yeah, it's a
but for
little bit
some,
more
I
method.
like it, but to me, it's my least favorite out of all of them.
Okay. Okay. Anything else to the list there, B?
I mean, Sheen already mentioned, Trick or Treat. That's a good one.
Mhm.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I like old movies like that. I watched The Fog the other day just because it's atmospheric and spooky. I like ghost stuff, spooky stuff, old stuff.
Right.
It's very old school, and it reminds me just of the tradition and the spookiness of Halloween and things like that. So
Okay. So I have a few. One of them I'll probably get made fun of for, but that's okay. Generally I do trick or treat because I just think it just is so fitting for Halloween. I do want to, as far as like a movie based on Halloween,
Mhm.
that to me, other than Halloween, which is sacrosanct there, but I find that, and it's funny too because as much as I've seen it, I don't know about you guys, but for some reason with that movie, I forget a lot. Shah, you ever had that like a movie
Same.
you've seen a lot, you know the movie, but you just don't remember these things in sequence, and when they happen, it's almost like experiencing it for the first time.
That actually happens to me quite frequently, man. Almost with every film. If you ask me in 2 weeks, I really have to gather my thoughts to remember the movie. Like
Right.
I really struggle. That's a struggle of mine. Like I really have to watch a movie 2, 3 times for me to kind of start to remember different sequences. Otherwise, I know the basic premise. I forget twists. I forget a lot of shit unless it really
Yeah.
impacts me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like again, not to fucking beat it to death, but like Hereditary, that right off the bat, first time watching it, I remember that movie.
Mhm.
But you know, some other generic movies, I'll totally forget about it by now.
Yeah, oh, shout out to my buddy Neckbeard, AW Neckbeard for joining late there. Marquise is saying that's me with the Rocky franchise, like Two Through Balboa runs together. Yeah, I'm glad other people are admitting this. Be sure, I don't know if you're going to admit it, but like I'm so I'll give you a fun a side example. I started rewatching Sons of Anarchy. I've watched it like 5 times, right? The whole series, right? It's
yeah,
6 series episodes. I literally can't remember 90% of what I'm watching, But do you have like a franchise like that, Bisha, or like a movie or movies where you're just like, oh my God, like I've seen this 100 times, but why does this feel like I'm watching it for the first time?
not specifically. I know when I watched Always Sunny, like I knew I loved it when it first came out, and I used to watch it on FX.
Uh,
But until I rewatched the series, like I couldn't tell you any bits other than like a handful of stuff. And then going
yeah, I
back
don't
and
remember a lot of bits.
I watched like 5 seasons and I remembered everything, but I couldn't recall it until I watched it again.
Yeah.
I find it in little doses with movies, but like sometimes I'll watch like the Dead Meat podcast or stuff like that, and the way that they'll sit and recall like this actress and this character name and this blah blah blah, and they'll do it for an hour. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what that character's name. So I actually, when I watched Azrael the other night, I actually took notes to try to like keep it fresh in my mind while I was going, and it actually helped quite a bit. But
Oh, that's interesting. I don't
yeah.
know that I would do that, but like Trick or Treat is like that for me. Every time I watch it, I will put it on probably as soon as I get off work tomorrow. I started. I think I said this last year. I put on. I almost embarrassed to say it. Don't ask me why. I don't have a good reason. I put on the Rob Zombie Halloween, and I'll tell you why, guys. Because it's grimy as fuck. I mean, it's just I feel like it's like it looks grimy, like everybody's unlikable. It's Brad Dourif is so weird as the fucking sheriff, and you don't know if you like anybody. And Mike Myers is like 6'6", 280, and the kills are violent, and he's interacting with weird people. Like, Shah, when was the last time you even thought about the Rob Zombie Halloween, the first one?
I saw it in the theater, and I haven't seen it or thought about it since.
Okay.
I don't mind rewatching it because it's been so many years.
Yeah, it's worth
But to
checking
be
out.
honest with you, just to kind of circle back to what we were just talking about, I don't remember shit from it. Like
Yeah, and you won't. You
don't.
won't. I'm telling you, you won't. You might remember a couple of things, but you will not remember the movie like vividly. Like Kevco says, I enjoy his White Trash Halloween. B-Show, what's your reaction to that? I think I did say this last year. Like, it's the only time I want to watch it. I get it. I kind of get it. What he was doing, some of the symbolism. It just feels so grimy.
Yeah, I can separate it from the original. Just Sam Hyos was saying something today about Halloween 5. As much as he hates it, he'll still watch it again. It's like pizza, like we talked about the other day, like I think
Right.
a couple weeks ago. It's still pizza. It might
Still
be bad
pizza.
pizza, but it's still pizza.
Yeah.
So Rob Zombie, the same thing. Like I don't like the way that he went way too deep on the backstory. I don't necessarily like what he did with Loomis, although I kind of understand you can't just do the same shit. And Malcolm McDowell is awesome.
Oh, he's great in it though. He's
But
very good.
yeah, I appreciated quite a bit of it. It just Rob Zombie's one of those directors where I think he almost like a Vince Russo, where he has a lot of good ideas and maybe picks good music for
Wow,
movies.
Rob Zombie is Vince Russo.
I think he's the Vince Russo of Hollywood.
Shit. Of horror movies. Wow.
But like it doesn't all thread together to me.
Wow. So. Shah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that statement? I'm like I totally understand. Rob Zombie is Vince Russo of horror.
I think that's actually a very fair comparison, you know?
Wow, B-Show.
I used to really be a big fan of Rob Zombie too, like the Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, they're great. They're fucking great.
Yeah, those two were bangers, and even the witches one, the Salem's.
People love the
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. I know people who hate Rob Zombie movies, and they fucking love. They think Lords of Salem is like an art film, fucking grindhouse art film.
Yeah, those three I really enjoyed, and then everything else he's done, I've despised pretty much. You know, even 3 from Hell, I didn't like it at all.
That was bad. That was not necessary. That
Trash.
was sad to me. Unnecessary trash. B-Show, like, damn.
I don't always have them, but when I'm right, I'm right, I guess.
Well, like Rich Dow was saying, like in Kevco, right off the bat, people are like, well, Captain Spaulding is an amazing character.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Captain Spaulding was almost, dare I say, the Art the Clown. Shah, wouldn't you say? I mean, dude, House of a Thousand Corpses was a good movie, made good money, but the sequel, Devil's Rejects, people loved that movie. People forget.
Captain Spaulding, dude, it's a legendary horror figure. Absolutely. Even at conventions, like that dude was fucking killing it for fucking the next 2 decades. Costume wise, you know, the masks are still around, the merchandise, like that was a big deal.
Yeah, the doll. Remember the figures? Like they made the figures.
I feel like honestly, you see more Captain Spaulding. The character itself is more relevant than House of a Thousand Corpses. I never hear anybody talking about the movie itself. But that character is always at Halloween Spirit, like Spirit Halloween, whatever the fuck's called.
Right.
But you always see the merchandise. The merchandise is always still out there. But
it was white hot. I mean, it was culty. B-Show, like, are you a fan of the well, dare I call it a trilogy because the 3 from Hell sucks, but were you a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects when they were out?
I didn't like House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought it was, again, almost like someone saying, hey, I really like these 4 movies. I'm going to do them. Okay. And then like the intercuts with like his wife dancing this go-go shit, like his
Yeah.
transitions, I thought was weird. So I feel like I'd seen that movie 1,000 times by the time I saw it.
So maybe that's why they called it House of a Thousand Corpses, because you've seen the
Possibly.
movie 1,000 times.
Yeah, it's cuts from 1,000 movies, I guess.
Yeah.
I really liked The Devil's Rejects
Oh.
though. That I thought that movie was really, really good. And I never saw 3 from Hell because I hated all the other Rob Zombie movies I
Don't even
watched,
bother.
so.
Don't do it. And I'm dead ass, right, Shah? Like anybody who likes the first 2 movies, don't even bother touching 3 from Hell.
It's like the VHS trilogy. Like the first 2 are good, and then the third one, Viral. That's like the 3 from Hell when it comes to Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
I really liked House of a Thousand Corpses, though. I'm not gonna lie to you because I saw it at the movie theater.
I saw it in theaters. I saw them both.
I saw it in
Blew me
theater,
away.
and I loved it. It didn't age well though. I recently watched it a year ago.
Really?
And it
The
did not
ending's
age
pretty
well.
intense. The last like 10, 15 minutes with the buried in a nameless grave.
I just mean it, like the cheesiness did not age well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of comes off a little too jokey joke when you watch it now.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I watched it in the theater, I got a completely different experience.
Yeah, it was more intense, but also it was new. Like you didn't know about like all of these characters. You didn't know that this was going to be a sequel. You didn't know like it was all built up to Dr. Satan, who's like a nothing really.
Right.
In the,
Well, his
the
wife had
trilogy.
also not annoyed me yet. You know, now we've had 20 years of her.
Sherry
So
Moon Zombie. I'll say this about Sherry Moon Zombie. I'll say this. She has her moments. I know a lot of Sherry Moon Zombies. That's all. In my world, in my lifetime, I've known a few Sherry Moon Zombies, B-show, and they were as advertised. I'm just gonna be polite. I'm just gonna be polite. She reminds me. She is like a composite character because you gotta remember I'm the same age as I'm slightly younger than them, but I'm in the same generation. I used to see White Zombie play L'Amour in front of 18 people. And they would put on the full show. I'm talking about White Zombie, like the band, long before La Sexy or Devil Music. They used to open for Biohazard. I saw them open, I think, with the Icemen at L'Amour. I'm really dating myself. So I had a lot of respect for the band and Rob, and people knew Rob and the OG lineup and the drummer. I was friends with the drummer's brother for many years. He was a good dude, the original drummer, Ivan. And Alec, the girl bass player. But so I had a lot of respect. Like I'm one of these dudes. Like I knew who Rob Zombie was before he was famous. I saw him kill shows, put on a like concert level experience for very small groups, and then I watched them ascend into greatness. So I was very proud to be around for that, and I was always happy to support them. So when he started making movies, and I knew he was a comic guy and a horror guy, and he's like from Jersey, whatever. I was like, I'm on board. Like, you got me. Like, but I got to tell you, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So Devil's Rejects is coming out. I'm at the Fangoria convention. It was in Brooklyn that year. And they had a special surprise. They said, we got the first 5 minutes of Devil's Rejects coming out in a couple of months. And they played it on every TV, like everywhere. Now, here's 2 funny things, right? Nobody knew shit about the movie, what the sequel was going to be about. And for reasons I cannot explain to you, it was edited for cursing. And I'm watching this at a Fangoria convention in a sea of people, almost like a fucking audience of thousands of people. And that opening sequence then they cut away right where they go to the 70s style credits where they're playing the Allman Brothers. You know what I'm talking about, B-show?
Midnight Rider, yeah.
Midnight Rider. Dude, this fucking place roared. I mean, people were like, holy fuck. And it was edited. Like the cursing were bleeped out. And I couldn't believe this shit. And then, of course, it comes out like a month and a half later, 2 months later, and it's like a blockbuster, But Shah, like I have to say, like to me, Devil's Rejects is a nice surprise. Like I feel like I could fuck with that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, I think overall it's a better movie. For me, though, I still think House of a Thousand Corpses is my personal favorite, just for the weirdness,
It's so weird.
Like Dr. Satan, the creature, like I just like the weirdness and the goofiness of House of a Thousand Corpses. But like I said, it didn't age well. So if you're watching it for the first time in 2024, you're probably not gonna like it.
Yeah, I would recommend going right to Devil's Rejects. You don't really need.
Yeah, like that probably aged well. That's probably something that you can watch today and it's fine.
Yeah, dude, B-show, Bill Moseley and Devil's Rejects. Holy fucking God, dude.
Oh my god, with the mom, what is it, the folk band in the motel room,
What's
and
her face? The woman from Three's Company. Yeah,
yeah.
Patricia Barnes. Well, I forget her name. Priscilla Barnes.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. And there's so many good actors in that movie, and the characters are written so
Oh,
well. Like the vindictive cop, I think it's William Forsythe.
yes, he's great in that. He's so.
Mother Firefly, who is that? She was a
Oh, she's something black. What the fuck's her name? She was an older actress. She used to do like
yeah.
70s. Yeah, I'm a big like that. You know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I'll throw that shit on maybe tomorrow night. I'll lose my fucking mind watching that again. Wow, Rich, that was like houses like blue balls in a horror movie.
Yo, you know what I really want to see again? I haven't seen this movie since it came out in theaters, but again, another remake, probably in my top 5 again. What is it called? The Hills Have Eyes.
The OG or the remake?
No, the remake.
Great.
The remake.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. That's another movie nobody ever talks about.
The sequel, the Hills of Eyes 2.
Yeah, the second one was good too.
Yeah,
good too.
Yeah.
It's almost
the
like
military guy in the desert.
Yeah, it's like an action movie. You know, it's
Yeah.
got good fights and like, you know, yeah, that would be a great one to watch. I love the original. Obviously, you know, the original goes back to what's his face from Nightmare there. He did the first one, right, B-Show?
Wes Craven. Yeah.
Wes Craven, yeah. Produced by Sean Cunningham. Yep.
Yeah, Sean Cunningham. And then did he do the second? Who did the second one in the 80s?
He did the second one too, I think.
He did.
I think so, yeah.
The second one was a big deal. That got a big push.
Check. I'm pretty sure he did the second one too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like to watch that. I like to watch American Werewolf in London on Halloween. That's one of my go-tos.
Oh, that movie's amazing.
American Werewolf in London, Trick or Treat, the white trash, the white trash Halloween. I do. These are like my staples, and I was trying to add something more classic in there. Believe it or not, this is one of the ones I watch, guys, because it's been on a lot lately, but it's cooled off. It'll come back around Christmas. Jaws, because it's scary. Like, you know, like it still kind of scares me. Like Jaws still makes me uncomfortable, you know, and that's what I like. I like the uncomfortableness. You know, to me, like I like B-Show, like I could watch Jaws all year round, but there's 2 great times to watch Jaws. Once is in the summer when it's hot as balls out and it's pool weather or beach weather.
Yeah, 4th of July.
4th of July, guys. Jaws is the shit. But try watching Jaws if you guys are in the chat or listening. If you're like, oh, what am I going to put on tomorrow? What am I going to put on tonight? Jaws. Like, you know, just the first fucking Jaws. Oh, and Neckbeards is saying I had to revisit Street Trash League. Oh my God. Dude, it's a classic. It's in my top 10. Legit top 10. Legit top 10. And some people, DeMarcus is saying the 80s slasher Maniac. Oh, you saw Maniac a couple weeks ago. Shot Maniac for Halloween is fantastic.
I love Maniac. That's one of the greats. Here, you mentioned American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
This is hands down one of my favorite.
Oh, Misha. Oh my God.
Oh, I think I came.
Oh, look at that pentagram on the back. Yo.
Here, and then Hills Have Eyes. I got both of them in these like limited edition ones. This is the second one.
That's the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one, and then the first one.
Is Michael Berryman still alive?
Yeah,
I think
he's still doing conventions.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Wow. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. Arrow Video, man. These fuckers, they put out the best shit.
Oh, Rich Dow's like Cabin Fever. The original's great. I love the original.
I love that
movie. I'm a big fan. No reason to watch the remake. I don't need to see the remake of Cabin Fever. But yeah, those are the ones I like to throw on. It's kind of a mishmash there. But you know, I just kind of have them on as background, but I will get sucked in. B-Show tomorrow. DeMarcus, if you've never seen the reboot of Maniac, it is very good. Elijah Wood is in it, and he's very good in it. B-Show, you like that Maniac reboot, right? I feel like we've talked about it before.
I think Shah saw the reboot of Maniac. I have not seen that.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah, Shah, you like the reboot, right? Oh, Shah might have us on mute there. He's off camera.
Hold on, I was putting away the movies. I have not seen the remake now.
Okay. Yeah, my brother.
I heard good things about it though. Like that's one of those movies that's been on my Amazon list to buy.
Worth checking out. Very, very, very gory. Elijah Wood is super creepy. As far as that goes. Yeah. So, you know, those are like the go-to for me. Like those are like the ones I like to watch. And you know, I'll throw like sometimes I'll be scanning B-Show and I'll be like, oh, there's a Halloween marathon. I guess I'll just leave this on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we were going to talk earlier. Maybe we'll do it on the Patreon about like traditions and stuff. I talked about this on the Patreon show that's up. basically the 1 year I was like too old to trick or treat and too young to go to a party. It was like one of the first years. Oh, The Faculty. The Faculty
Oh,
is a
that's
great
on a
one.
lot, cable. If you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
cable, The Faculty's on lot. Shah, you're a Faculty guy, right? Love it.
Yeah, you shouldn't even feel guilty about that. That's a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see that as a Halloween tradition. But Bisha, how old were you at this point in time? Like 11, 12?
12,
12. Yeah, that
13,
sounds
maybe,
about right. 12,
like
13. Yeah,
junior high.
13 seems like the end.
But it was like one of the first years that AMC got the rights to like the first 5 Halloween movies and showed them all in a marathon. And I remember my friends were going to go trick or treating, and my mom was like, you got to have a costume. You can't just be one of those kids that dresses up without a costume. I said, fine, fuck it, I'll go upstairs. And I turn on AMC, and I'd seen Halloween and Halloween 2. Then all of a sudden, Halloween 3 comes up, and it's bum, 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 bum with the pumpkin on the computer.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this? And I watched like 4 and 5, and that's became hooked. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you guys a question in the chat because I'm just curious. Could any of you think of a grossly overrated Halloween related property that you think gets too many props? Is there anything like that's themed around Halloween that you go, oh, this blows? Like, like that, or that you were excited to see, and then you were like, I know for a lot of people, it's the Rob Zombie Halloween. I can tell you that for a lot of people, a lot of people. And I'm going to say one just because I was thinking about this because I forget. I think Peacock has them. The modern Halloween movies are all being heavily pushed. So Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. And I will never watch Halloween Ends again. I will never watch
Kills was
it
pretty
again.
bad too, man. The first one was really good.
I can
Kills
make
was pretty
excuses for
awful.
Kills because it's so stupid and the
Yeah.
evil dies tonight. Like I
I
like to
hate that
goof
shit.
on
That
it.
shit
I
ruined the
goof on it.
movie.
It does.
Literally.
It does. I like to goof on it. But I remember Halloween
I agree.
Ends to me is I mean, it's just so unforgivable. I feel like letters of apology should be written by people. Shah, do you have one? And then we'll go to B show and then we'll talk about it and see if anybody has them in the chat.
It does,
Or is
I mean,
that yours? Is that yours? Like the Halloween, like you said, Halloween Kills.
Well, if it's Halloween related, then yeah. But I mean, overall, movies that people watch during Halloween, I think the most overrated is probably the Scream franchise for me. Like I can't really get into it, dude.
I
It's
think they're
very
overrated for sure.
yeah.
I think they're
And I get it, man. It's like it's legendary. People claim it's one of the best horror movies of all. I get it. It's just not for me.
Okay. Yeah. Would you say that they're more overrated? Like, because I feel like the recent ones have been the best of the previous ones, but you went backward. You saw them in pieces, right?
Yeah, I saw the first 3, and then I saw the 5th one.
Oh wow!
So I haven't seen 4 and 6 yet.
4 was like the later reboot to set up the 2 with the other people. That's if I'm remembering that right. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, B show. What are your overrated Halloween movies?
I'm not going to ruin any of the ones that are coming through the chat because they're all good. But
yeah, we'll get to those.
You've got a point with both Rob Zombie. I'm more favorable to his original Halloween, although I just don't fuck with it. Halloween 2, his Halloween 2 was fucking an abortion.
Yeah, it should not have happened.
There's one good scene when Annie Brackett's getting killed. Or she's killed, and Sheriff Brackett comes in, and they intercut like footage of Danielle Harris as a kid, like home movies, as he's kind of like grieving her, and he starts screaming, and Brad Dourif is going crazy, but there's no sound.
Jesus,
like that's the one shining moment of that movie. It's a great scene,
super artsy.
The rest of it is fucking terrible. And then, like you said, Halloween Ends. I think there's a lot of people that say it's great because they want to be contrarian. And they compare it to Halloween 3. They're like, oh, this movie is like Halloween 3. It's going to be revered in 20 years. No, it's not. That movie is fucking terrible.
Well, would you say the first of the 3? So we have Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills, and what's the reboot of that?
The original was just Halloween.
Okay. When we say the original, it's the third of the original.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that the original, though, was very promising and strong? I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I actually liked Halloween Kills in a way more than the reboot to Halloween.
Wow.
Part of it is the flashback scene. I thought that was done really well, and that kind of made it for me.
Okay.
They're setting Michael up in similar to way, and I know it's a nerdy, Trekkie thing, but John Carpenter's unmade Halloween 4 was more about how Michael's like a force of nature and a force of evil and exists beyond the man. So they start setting that up for Halloween Kills. Like the more you try to kill him, the more he kills, the stronger he gets. And then the next
I love
movie, he's
that.
living in a sewer. And it's like, fuck you. Why did I invest in that? Fuck you. You
He's
know.
a Ninja Turtle. Shah, you like that first Halloween of that trilogy, though, right? I mean, I think we all would agree that was really
Yeah,
promising.
yeah. I saw I think all three in the theater. To
As
be
did I.
honest with you.
Yeah, so all three.
And the first one was, yeah, you're right. It was very promising. I remember it was 2018. I really liked that one. I was like, all right, this is gonna. I'm hopeful. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna be decent.
I was like, yeah, we're back.
And then I saw Kills, and the first half was good, and then it turned into like the community of like dwarves screaming at him, saying evil's dying tonight and shit like that. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are we
It was
doing here?
MAGA
What do you-
Halloween. Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
mega. I'll say this: the first like 10 or 15 minutes, though, like where they show up and the firemen, and she's like, "Let it burn."
Yeah, it's too cheesy. Man.
Yo, but when he kills the fireman,
Yeah.
yo, fuck that, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, I just thought all the chanting and shit. That's something you could have got away with in the 80s.
too many
being
new
cheesy.
characters, too many like. Why is Anthony Michael Hall a principal in a movie in 2020? This was my whole thing, like 2021. I couldn't figure that out. And that was also COVID. Like, we remember it went right to Peacock, guys, and it was like, sorry, no movies. Here's Halloween sequel.
Yeah. I watched it on the plane and in the airport on my way out to Brooklyn to see.
Yeah, I
these
watched
play.
it in the Airbnb the night before the show. I stayed up. I was like, I have to watch this, and then I watched it the next day. Like, because I was like, and that's how we saw Halloween. You know, it was like it wasn't like a theater. It was limited in theaters because a lot of theaters just were not putting movies out. So that's a hard thing to kind of push that around. But you know, for me, it's just I feel like that's going to go down in history. That third movie is like, why did you do this? Like, why did you make this? Like, it made. I remember people show the third one. They were like, boy, Rob Zombie's Halloween wasn't really that bad.
That's true. I think I actually like the original Rob Zombie Halloween more than Halloween Ends.
Wow.
I mean, and there's.
I would say that. I'll go with
Yeah.
that. Shah, would you say that? Rob Zombie's Halloween over Halloween Ends?
Oh man, I have to rewatch it. I don't
Okay.
really remember, but if I had to judge based off of what I remember,
Mm.
I would rather watch the Blumhouse
Okay.
Halloweens. I think.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what's
really
funny?
didn't like the Rob Zombie one, but
You know
I'll
what's
have to
funny?
rewatch it.
I'm just picturing this in my mind, like certain people hearing this and going, you know, I never really watched that Rob Zombie because Draper said it was pretty good. I'll check it out. They're watching it going, yo, Draper's on drugs, man. Like, what the fuck, dude? That dude's weird, man. B-Show, let's run through some of the overrated horror properties in the chat, and then we got to go to Patreon. We're going to talk about our Halloween traditions and Halloween memories in the Patreon.
Reached out with a great one. The Conjuring, all 19 of them.
Rich, I will say this: the first Conjuring's okay. Like from an idea standpoint, it was it was good. Blumhouse wasn't really a thing, and then they sort of progressively. Shah, do you even like any of those? Because I feel like again the first one was it was like the beginning of that PG-13 horror comeback, or
Yeah.
like it's not terrible.
No, the first one is the only one that I somewhat liked. Second one is
Was it
okay.
the second one they went to London, right? That's what they went to
I think
London.
so, yeah. Second one is okay, and then I just hated everything else that they touched. Like anything else they touched, I didn't like.
Okay, Rich
La
Dow, yeah.
Rona, The Nun,
The
Annabelle.
spinoffs. The Nun is terrible. The Nun 2 might be one of the
all of
worst
that.
movies I've ever seen in a theater.
Yeah.
B-Show, who else got them? But Rich Dow killed it with that.
Joe Punch's Paranormal Activity movies.
I agree.
Yes.
Again, the first one, big deal. You know, had a good vibe. Second one, not as good as the first one. And then they just put cults in it and nephews and nieces and fucking like they just went off the deep end there, I think. But the first one, I will give it its flowers, B-Show. I thought the first one was fucking great.
I mean, I get it. It reminds me of the Blair Witch in a way where like, okay, I see it, but then like 14 of them, no, thank you. Everybody else is agreeing with Rich Dow about paranormal or about
okay, Conjuring and Paranormal Activity. And by the way, these are probably very popular Halloween properties. I'm sure for sure.
Both answers are very accurate though. Both are super
accurate.
overrated. Yeah,
the chat is nailing it per usual.
Yeah.
Who's next in there, B?
John JLD says Annabelle. Yeah, I didn't really like Annabelle.
I don't get it. It doesn't grasp me. Like it just doesn't. I put that in the same category. That's for sure. And the spinoffs. What else do we have in there?
Marquise thinks the Blair Witch Project was mid. Yeah,
interesting.
That was almost like you had to be there, kind of.
Yeah, it's so funny you're saying that because I was like, well, if you were around when it was a thing, you would feel differently. But I get it. Like guys, if we were 30, 32, 30 years old and we watched Blair Witch today, we would be goofing on that shit shot hard, don't you think?
Yeah, the Blair Witch, it's one of those things you had to live through, and even then, it doesn't have much replay value. Like Blair
Because
Witch isn't something. Yeah, and it's just not like a fun movie to sit through. There's not really much happening, so it's really only a one-time watch. Maybe you could watch it every 20 years or 10 years, but it's not something you're gonna want to watch every Halloween. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God, guys, I'm so sorry. This is a bunch of years ago. We watched it with the girls. We let the girls pick a scary movie, and my wife
Oh.
was like, "It can't be like one of these like movies where people getting eaten and shit." And my wife was like, I think they could watch Blair Witch." And the girls were like, "I don't understand." Like, and they were like 15 and 17 at the time, and they didn't get it. I just remember that. That's so weird. But yeah, Bisha, would you say Blair Witch? I mean, it's groundbreaking for what it was, but
Yeah, I mean, if I was watching it today for the first time, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" I get it,
right.
but it just everyone thought that movie was legit and that it was a
Yeah,
snuff film.
Marquise, everyone thought it was real, like, and it was pushed as real. They put up missing ads in, like, newspapers for the actors, like, for real. They put real missing person ads. The internet was not a thing like that. Most people didn't have the internet, so there was no fourth wall break. No one broke kayfabe. I know
And
that sounds crazy.
Marquise is my age, so he might have seen it then, but
Yeah, but it
I
might have
just
been off
remember it
his
being
radar. It might
huge.
have been off
Yeah.
his radar, like, as far as that goes.
This is
What else we got?
surprising from Neckbeards. Well, okay, maybe not. Hellraiser as a franchise.
I'll agree with that. I
Yeah.
think you just the first two, the third one is kind of like where it has a jump the shark moment.
Mhm.
It's okay, Hell on Earth, but it's nowhere near as good as two. Two is incredible. Two is fucking sick. One is amazing. Shah, but there's like five post that, six or seven post that, and none of them you'll ever want to watch.
Yeah, you guys are breaking my heart, man. Because when I went to put those movies back, Arrow Video put out Hellraiser on 4K, the box set. So the first four movies, and this is
Oh,
one of my favorite fucking series, dude. I
Oh.
love this
what
franchise.
was who was the thing in four? I was that Craig Schaefer's in
I've
four.
actually never seen the fourth one.
Okay, I think
Look
I
at
have.
this fucking thing. It moves and then like,
Wow. Oh my, that looks like Clive Barker made that fucking thing
yeah,
himself. Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love Shah. So
crazy.
you're an apologist for Hellraiser?
Yeah, dude, I fucking love
Okay,
Hellraiser, man.
I love the first two. They're
I
epic.
fucking love Hellraiser.
Epic.
Yeah.
Three's
First two were
okay.
great. The third, they start introducing like Ninja Turtle villain characters. And
Yeah.
yeah.
When they tried to make Pinhead like a person character, likable, Doug Bradley had to be in it as another. It was like, no, we just want the Pinhead guy. We don't
Yeah.
need the rest of that. But that's interesting. Like it's funny because like The Conjuring, Blair Witch, some of these movies,
Yeah. I'm
Annabelle.
surprised by that one, man.
Yeah.
Hellraiser is
DeMarcus said Scream. Some people said Scream.
yeah, fuck Squid, man.
Yeah, people said Scream. I respect the Scream series. I get it. I think they have good kills, but it's dopey as fuck. Like I don't need to rewatch even the modern ones, which I've seen in theaters. I saw the last couple in theaters. I'm okay with them, but they're not like, oh, Scream. And I feel that way about the Saw franchise. After that last one was so flat for me. The prequel, the pre and the middle one where I might have cancer, but I'm gonna get better by going to Mexico. It's like, dude, are we kidding? Like, this is what we're doing now with this? Like, can we just end it? Can we just move on? And now there's another one, and I'm like, what is the other one? Like, what are we doing, yo? Like, I don't need any more of these.
Yeah. Like I thought the first one was good.
Of course,
Second one's okay.
pretty
But
good.
then
Third one's
it,
pretty good too.
yeah, they just got so contrived because like you get to like episode 5 and it's like this person who was been around the whole time but we'd never really seen happened to
Yes.
have been the other guy.
When they
And
made
it's
the
like,
cop the
really?
killer, I was like,
Yeah.
that guy sucked. Like he was not a great actor. That French guy or was Canadian or something. He kind of blows. I wasn't really into it. That's why they had to try to figure out to bring Tobin Bell back
Yeah.
and what's her face because like these are the only thing people connect to. You can go a good direction with that. Honestly, I think Saw should have won a young person who's just been obsessed with this their whole life, just makes this their thing. That would have been acceptable to me. And then
Yep.
and then you have years of that to build. Yeah, like Saw, Scream. It's funny, everybody's shitting on the mainstream, like
Yeah.
basic bitch ones, which I
Well, like
love.
in Scream, I
To
understand too,
shit on.
because like people think Scream is amazing, but my daughter's 12 and she just started watching the Scream movies.
Yeah,
And she's like, I watched Scream 5 the other day. I like it, but they're all the same movie.
they are
And
the
it's
same
like,
way.
there you go. And now that worked for other franchises in the past, but
Yeah.
like They even make it a gag in the movies how everything has to be the same, and it's
I
like,
know, and I'm so
yeah,
tired of those fourth wall breaks with the people, and
yes.
the people are entirely too smart, and then the cast is getting very weird, and it's like, who, like what, like what are we doing? Who
Mhm.
is this random genderless person, or the like? I just feel like they're trying very hard to be inculcated by the culture, which is, I guess, okay if it's done right, but then it just becomes a caricature. Like I feel like that last one, oh, it's the biracial lesbian girl, gotta have her. We need an Asian somewhere. Can we bring an Asian in? And I'm like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But to me, the biggest crime was that was Canada posing as New York. I will never forgive.
The old
I will
Vancouver stand-in for New
I
York.
will never let that go. I will never ever let that go. I don't care anything about the characters and having, it's like a diversity training exercise. That's fine if that's what you want to do. Make it good, you know. But when you start telling me you're on a subway, Shah, and we've all been on a subway, and everyone in this fucking chat, and probably even in the fucking chat at one point or another has maybe been on a New York subway. I mean, within 2 seconds, Shah, you deduce that this is not New York, and which is at a franchise of that level should be shooting on location.
Yeah, and I feel like when they try to lie to you, I think it takes away from the movie. I felt the same way with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Netflix one.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah, we were very bummed out
they
by
were
that.
portraying Texas, but the shit was shot in like I don't even know, like Bulgaria or
Yeah,
somewhere.
it
Like,
was Bulgaria, yeah.
was
It
it?
was
Yeah,
Serbia or Bulgaria, yeah.
yeah, somewhere over there.
Not
Um,
since I found out the girl in the substance boobs were fake have I felt this betrayed, guys. Like,
oh
I've
yeah, I
still not
forgot
let that
about
go.
that, dude. Don't remind me.
Well, you will see the movie, you won't care. Trust me, you will not care. You will not care.
By the way, that's coming out tomorrow, I think,
Yeah, on their
on movie.
streaming, on movie. Yeah. 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 As of right now, I'm not even gonna front. That's the best horror film by miles for me. Until I see The Heretic and I go, okay, I've changed my mind.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, listen, I hope you guys get to check out some cool movies for the holiday. I hope you had a good Halloween. I know a lot of people are taking off Friday. I've heard a lot of people they're taking the day because the weather's pretty nice in the Northeast and they're going to go out. I am going to be on my front porch, giving out candy and putting on some movies in the background. Before we head out, B Show, what's on your agenda tomorrow night?
Just trick or treating with the kids, and then
Kids.
when they go to bed, probably a Halloween marathon. Now, the cool thing is my 7-year-old and my 12-year-old have both watched Halloween, and they're cool with
Okay.
it. And they
Wow.
asked me, well, I don't know. My son asked me if we could watch Halloween tomorrow, and they have a 2-hour
Wow.
delay on Friday morning, so they might be joining in on the
Okay.
festivities. So
Okay. That sounds like fun. Shah, what's on your agenda tomorrow? You're going to the movies, right?
Tomorrow? No, I'm not doing
Oh,
anything
you're going the
tomorrow.
weekend. Okay.
Yeah, nothing tomorrow. Friday night, I'm definitely going out. I don't know. I'll get into it maybe on Patreon. I don't want to put too much out here.
Okay.
And then Saturday, I'm also going out. So it's
Okay.
gonna be I'm gonna be very hungover on Sunday.
Sounds
I
like
need
a
to.
really big weekend for Shaheen. But
Yeah, it's
we're
gonna
going to
be
head out
gonna be
now.
amazing.
Please consider going to patreon.com/spitball media. You get about 1,200 hours, honestly, of exclusive content, including Q&A shows. We just did a watch along for Halloween not that long ago. So thank you guys for participating in that. We'll try to do a holiday version of that in early December. We'll work on that because we might be leaving StreamYard permanently here. I hope you guys have a safe holiday there. Let's plug our pals. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, Don Tony and Kevin Castile. And of course, the Necromaniacs podcast. That's my other brother. That's so funny. My brother Mark's band Shutdown. Go check out his video. By Your Side. It's about 115,000 views in 2 weeks. I don't know how that's possible, but the people are really responding to it. His album comes out in the new year, but that's the band Shutdown. By Your Side. That's another brother of mine. I just plugged half my family. This is so obnoxious. Let's plug the Human Experience podcast. And of course, Mojo and Dirk's most dastardly show, The Garden of Doom. And then we have the Old Guy Metal cast, MJW Games, my friends over in the UK with Ringsiders Wrestling. They're on YouTube. And of course, we have MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser, Sam Hoyos. He just interviewed my brother Mark a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be doing a show with him in November. This will be fun. We're doing songs we wish we wrote. Sam and I think on the panel, we are going to go through the 10 songs that, not our favorite songs, not the best songs we wish we wrote as singer-songwriters there. So that should be entertaining. And his band Playing Dead, always putting out the hits there. Then we have Bayou Geeks. That's Fateh 316. The High Marks Podcast, Midnight Mass Creature Cast, The Weekly Detour with Anthony Allison and Teddy. And we got the Guns and Geeks Podcast. And of course, Shah, we want everybody subscribing to Planet Mondo and hitting that subscribe button, correct?
Absolutely. And give me a follow on Instagram as well, at planet.mondo.
At planet.mondo on Instagram. And of course, the B Show Brian channel. B Show just dropped a banging episode for the Patreon. But B Show, anything on the channel that you want to plug?
No, I didn't get to do any Halloween content this year. I might batch record and drop it next year, but definitely keep your eyes on bshowbrian.com. That's the YouTube channel. I made it easy. Just put in bshowbrian.com. It'll take you right to it. Subscribe and stay tuned.
Click. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button for our show, the Spitball Media Podcast on YouTube. We'll be back to the regular programming next week. So obviously, we mentioned earlier, we're doing this show a day early. Patreon's going to get it nice and early. We'll release the show, on the regular format there going forward. But I hope you guys have a safe Halloween. If you're going to be out boozing it up and smoking it up and snorting it up, just be careful with the driving. It's a tough night to be getting around there. But please be careful. And we're heading over to Patreon. We got a fun show planned on there. Try joining us. Patreon.com. Peace out and have a happy Halloween.